One day you will wake up and everything will look fine. The sun will rise, your phone will have notifications, your job will still exist, your friends will still laugh with you. Nothing will look broken. But inside, there will be a quiet panic, not loud enough for anyone else to hear, just loud enough for you to feel. A realization will slowly form in your chest. I am not becoming who I once promised myself I would be. That is how comfort kills a future. Not with noise, not with disaster, but with slow permission. Armin used to believe he had time. He was 24, which felt young enough to delay responsibility and old enough to talk about ambition. He had vision boards saved on his phone. He followed successful people online. He imagined himself confident, disciplined, powerful. In his imagination, he woke up early. In his imagination, he worked harder than everyone else. In his imagination, he was unstoppable. Reality was softer, slower, easier. His alarm rang at 6 a.m. every morning. That sound was not just an alarm, it was a decision. And every morning his mind whispered gently, "Rest is important. You worked yesterday. You deserve comfort." Successful people don't torture themselves. It sounded reasonable, logical, kind, so he pressed snooze. The bed felt safe. The outside world felt demanding. That small choice repeated for months. Each snooze button was a vote for the weaker version of himself. At work, Armin had ideas, good ones. But when meetings started, his heart beat faster. What if they judged him? What if he sounded stupid? So he stayed silent. After the meeting, he told himself, "Next time I'll speak." Next time rarely came. Others were promoted. Others were noticed. He told himself they were lucky. But deep inside, he knew they were just braver in uncomfortable moments. Evenings were his escape. He would come home tired, but not from hard work, from mental avoidance. He would scroll for hours, watching other people build businesses, watching other people transform their bodies, watching other people live boldly. It felt productive, but it was passive. He confused inspiration with action, and comfort grew stronger. Sometimes at night, when the room was dark and the screen was off, a heavy silence entered. In that silence, he felt behind, not compared to others, compared to his own potential. That feeling scared him, so the next night, he made sure to avoid silence completely. One afternoon, something simple happened. He ran into an old classmate at a coffee shop. His classmate used to struggle in school. Now he looked sharp, focused, calm. They talked. The classmate said, "The hardest part was doing things before I felt ready." That sentence stayed in Armand's mind longer than he expected. That night, Armand did something unusual. He sat without music, without his phone, just him and his thoughts. It was uncomfortable. His mind tried to distract him, but he forced himself to stay still. And in that stillness, he saw a pattern clearly for the first time. He was not lazy because he lacked ability. He was lazy because he was addicted to comfort. Comfort protected him from embarrassment, from rejection, from physical pain, from failure, but it also protected him from growth. He realized something painful. His life wasn't hard. It was easy, and easy was making him weak. The real turning point came days later when his company announced restructuring. Layoffs were possible. Suddenly, his safe job didn't feel permanent. Fear entered, real fear, and with that fear came clarity. If he lost this job, what proof did he have of his discipline? What skills had he truly mastered? Comfort had made him dependent, not capable. That night he stood in front of the mirror longer than usual. He looked at himself and asked one question. If nothing changes, where will I be in 5 years? He imagined the same room, same habits, same excuses, older face, lower energy, more regret. That image hurt more than any criticism ever could. The next morning, when the alarm rang, the usual negotiation began, but something was different. He understood that the voice asking him to rest was not kindness. It was fear wearing soft language. He counted down from 5 and forced his body up before his mind could argue. It felt heavy. His muscles resisted. But once he stood, something shifted. He had won the first battle of the day. At the gym, he felt small, weak, out of place. His ego screamed to leave, but he remembered the future version of himself watching, so he stayed. One more set, one more minute. At work he volunteered for a difficult task. His heart raced. He made mistakes, but instead of shame, he felt progress. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The external changes were slow, but internally, something powerful was forming: self-trust. Every time he chose discomfort, he proved to himself that he was capable of more. Every time he avoided comfort, he built resilience. He began noticing how comfort shows up in small ways: checking the phone instead of starting work, avoiding tough conversations, choosing fast pleasure over long-term reward. These moments looked harmless, but together they shaped identity. Identity shapes destiny. Armin stopped asking, "What do I feel like doing?" He started asking, "Who do I want to become?" That question changed his decisions. When he felt lazy, he acted anyway. When he felt fear, he stepped forward anyway. Not perfectly, not always, but consistently enough to shift direction. Years later, people saw the result: stronger body, better position, clearer thinking. But they did not see the invisible war he fought daily against comfort. They did not see the mornings he wanted to quit, the nights he chose discipline over distraction, the fear he walked through instead of around. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Your comfort zone will never announce that it is destroying you. It will give you reasons. It will tell you that you are still young, that you have time, that tomorrow is fine. And while you listen, time quietly moves forward without asking your permission. Growth feels unfair in the beginning. Waking up early feels cruel. Practicing feels boring. Risking feels terrifying. But regret feels heavier than all of them combined. Regret is silent, but it stays longer than pain. Right now, your future is not being built by big dramatic moments. It is being built by small daily decisions that feel insignificant. The snooze button, the skipped workout, the avoided conversation, the delayed dream. These are not small. They are votes. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself honestly, are you truly resting, or are you hiding? Are you protecting your peace, or protecting your fear? Because the person you become is shaped by what you tolerate from yourself. Comfort will always be available. Growth will always require courage, and one day you will wake up. The question is, will you feel proud of who you became, or will you wish you had stepped out sooner? If this story touched you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories.